Hi, welcome to Youth Yoga. My name is Melissa and I'll be taking you through your classes this semester. To begin, we're going to be standing in the center of our mat, facing the long side of the mat. We're beginning in a pose today called mountain pose. So we're standing squarely on the feet, the arms are next to the body with the palms facing out. This is a standing resting pose. Take a minute to rock back and forth from your toes to your heels, helping find the center of your feet. We all tend to favor one side versus the other. If you ever go home and you flip over your shoes or you look at your socks, you can easily tell where you carry the majority of your weight. Some people carry it in the toes and some people carry it in the heels. Once you've had a minute to rock back and forth, find your center, bring your toes up off the mat, separate them, and place them down one by one. We'll be pressing evenly into the big toe, the pinky toe, and the heel. Shoulders are down and relaxed. From the hips down, we're grounding. From the waist up, we're lifting so that we've got dynamic tension going through the body. We've got length through the neck and we're lifting through the top of the head, almost like there is a string connecting the top of your head to the ceiling. Feeling grounded and stable, we will stay here for 4 to 5 more breath cycles. One more deep breath. Take a minute to simply step your feet apart so we've got space between the feet. There's 2 different options to line up your feet. One is to line up the outer edges of the feet to the top and the bottom of the mat. That does not feel comfortable for my knees. So I always choose option 2. I point my toes toward the corners of the mat. That's just more comfortable for my knees. We're beginning in a star stretch. So we're reaching the arms up. So we're shaped like a star. We're bending the elbows, bending the knees, coming down into a squat, and then pressing straight back up to that star stretch. Lowering down and lifting up. As you're working through this pose, take a minute to check your knees. So if you watch my knees, we don't want this. A lot of times knees tend to rotate inward. So this is a pretty big misalignment. We're keeping our knees pointing to our middle toes. Exhaling as we lower, breathing in as we reach up. Every time we stand, we're squeezing the leg from the kneecap up to the hip. These are called moonflowers in yoga. We've got 2 more. Good, adding on, we're coming back down to that same drop. We're lowering the ribs, sweeping the arms, and coming straight back up to a star stretch. So we drop, hinge from the hips, sweep the arms, right back up. The back stays straight the entire time. So we're not rolling through that low back. We're hinging from the hip. This is a great way to create a little bit of heat in the body, warming up the muscles and the joints. We've got 4 more. Good, last 2. These are called sunflowers. Good, go ahead and drop those arms down. We're stepping our feet together, so they're going to be directly underneath the hips. We're coming into a chair squat. Palms come together, bend the knees, and then stand straight back. We're keeping our knees stacked directly on top of our ankles the whole time. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see a misalignment is this. If you can see how far my knees are coming over my ankles. So this is the wrong form. This is the right form. So we're shooting our tailbone out behind the body. The knees stay stacked over the ankles. We've got 5 more chair squats. Good, last 3. Here's 2 and 1. Good, come all the way up. Sweep the arms up, palms come together. Exhaling the hands to the heart center. Breathe in, reach back up to the ceiling, and drop into a forward fold. Soften the knees, reach the arms out to the side. Palms come together. Exhale the hands straight down. Breathe in, reaching up to the ceiling. Swan diving down. The ribs lead the way. The back stays straight. Soften the knees. Use the inhale to come back up. So each movement is an inhale or an exhale. Here's our breath in. Good, breathe out. Breathing in and breathing out. Take these at your own pace. We don't have to be moving at the exact same time. We breathe differently, so we will be moving differently. Again, we're keeping that straight back. It's all about the hip hinge. We've got 3 more. We're stretching out the hamstrings, strengthening the low back, and creating some flexibility in the shoulders. Good, last 2. Big sweep up. And last 1. Good, palms come together. And we're resting in a forward fold. Letting those hands fall wherever they naturally do. Maybe we're resting them on the legs today, or maybe they're down at the mat. We're pressing into the heels. We're lifting up through the legs. Make sure to shake or nod your head so you're not carrying tension through the neck. Two more breaths. Good, soften the knees. Circle sweep the arms all the way up. Palms come together. We're getting a light bend in the knees. We're gonna cross the body on a diagonal. So we're gonna bring those arms across. You can either come to the outside of your knee. This is my left leg, but if you're facing me, this would be your right leg. Or you can come to the outside of the foot and then take a breath in, extending what would be your right arm up to the ceiling, and then breathe out, lower down. Ground into the feet, circle sweep the arms up. Good, get a little tiny bend in the knees. Start to rotate over so the shoulders turn, choosing to come to the outside of your left leg or the outside of your left foot, and then your left arm would extend. So we're crossing the body on a diagonal. Choosing a comfortable range of motion, whether that be knees or feet today. Again, we're staying connected to the breathing. We breathe in as we open. We exhale as we close. Breathing in, opening. Good. Exhale, twist. Breathe in, extend. Exhale, lower. Making this a nice, fluid, smooth movement. Nice job. We have 1 more on each side. Deep breath in. Exhale, crossing over. Breathing in and out. Good. Deep breath in. Come all the way up. As we exhale, we're bringing our hands behind our tailbone. Draw the shoulder blades together. Take a deep breath in, expanding through the ribs. We're using our exhale to dive the head down. So we're into a forward fold with a chest expansion. The shoulder blades draw towards each other, the elbows draw towards each other. We're opening those ribs wide. If your legs are tight today, keep a little bend in both knees. 2 more breaths here. Using your exhale, drop your hands down to the mat, soften the knees, circle sweep the arms all the way up, and then breathe out, dropping those arms down. Nice job. We are fully warmed up. So we're into a warrior one. The right foot is in the front and the left foot is in the back. Heels are on the same line. So remember, if you were to take a Sharpie marker and draw a line through the center of the mat, the heels are going to be on the same line. The front knee is bent and the hips are turned to the top of the mat. So we're getting an opening through this left hip flexor group. Take a breath in and send your arms up. Palms face each other. Draw the shoulder blades down. Extend through the fingertips and the top of the head. We're taking a minute to activate our legs by pressing our feet away from each other. Staying here for 4 deep breaths. When you're ready, returning to a warrior two. So the feet stay planted just like they are. The hips spin open to the long portion of the mat. Arms are parallel to the ground. We're looking over the right fingertips, and the shoulders are lined up directly over the hips. Reaching and extending through the arms in the opposite direction. Now we're unbending our front knee. Reach the right arm to the front first, then the right arm drops down, the left arm opens. We're into a triangle. Both legs are straight. We're pressing into the outer edge of the back foot. Shoulders stack on top of each other. 2 more deep breaths. Good, bending that front knee. Find your way back up to a warrior two. Go ahead and drop both arms down. We're switching sides. So the left foot is in the front, the right foot is in the back. Heels are on the same line. Turn those hips to the top of the mat. Breathe in, sweeping the arms up. Shoulder blades anchor down. From the hips down, we're grounding. From the waist up, we're extending. Two to 3 more breaths. Nice job. Turning to a warrior two. Arms come down parallel to the ground. Now we're gazing over the left fingertips. Staying strong and active through the legs. Reaching through the arms. Lifting through the head. Checking that front knee. Make sure it's not rotating in. So keep that front knee pointing to the middle toes. When you're ready, straighten out the front leg. Shift the spine by reaching the left arm to the front first. Now the left arm comes down, the right arm points up. Shoulders are stacked, legs are straight. 4 to 5 breaths here. We're getting ready to make our way back up to a warrior two. We're bending our front knees, stacking it on top of the ankle. Use the strength of your core, those obliques, to pull yourself back up to your warrior two. 2 more deep breaths. Good, drop those arms down. We're stepping back to the top of the mat and we're turning back facing the long portion of the mat for some work for the shoulders. So again, find yourself in the center. Maybe move back and forth from side to side, maybe front to back, until you feel like you're completely centered with your feet. Arms are next to the body, the thumbs point forward. We're breathing in, drawing the arms up so they're right next to the ears. And then we flip the palms open and reach to the back wall, making a full circle. The thumbs are already in the front, so breathing in, extend, flip the palms, and breathe out. Good. Keep that motion going. This is a great heart opener. Many of us tend to get very C-shaped, what I call the American posture, because we're on a computer all day and we're texting all day and we get very rounded. And so this is just a great way to open through the shoulders and the chest. To maintain good health in the spine, we need to move it in all planes of motion. So we'll be doing some back bends today too. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Make as big, as wide of a circle as you can. We've got 3 more shoulder openers. Good. 2 more to go. And the last one. Nice job. We're getting ready for a standing back bend. So a couple tips. The part of our back that has the biggest range of motion is our cervical spine, which is up here, our neck. And so what happens in a back bend is people tend to really lift their head back, which is going to cause strain on the neck. So if you were to make an L shape with your thumb and your pointer, bring the thumb right to this little dip here in your collarbone and bring the pointer to your thumb. You should never go past this range of motion. So if I am to throw my head back, I've already come out of alignment. So when you're in a back bend, sometimes it's helpful. It looks a little bit silly, but it's helpful sometimes just to make that L, to make sure that you're keeping safe alignment through the neck. The other thing is we want to start the back bend with our middle back. So we're focusing on the thoracic spine, the middle spine. So I'm going to turn this way. We'll make fists with your hands and bring your hands back to your hip bones. Start by simply drawing the shoulders and the elbows towards each other, and then take your mid back and push it forward. We're going to be looking up toward the ceiling, but do that check with your fingers to make sure that you're not dropping the head past that angle. The shoulder blades continue to draw towards each other. The elbows draw towards each other. We're lifting through the ribs and the collarbone. When you're ready, come back to center, and we compensate with a forward fold. So we're letting those hands drop down towards the mat, resting wherever they fall. Shake the head, nod the head. Staying here for 3 to 4 breaths. When you're ready, get a little tiny bend in both knees, grounding into the feet. We're sweeping the arms all the way up. Deep breath in, staying upright. We're dropping those arms down. Nice job. We're coming to a high lunge. So the right foot is in the front, the left foot is in the back. A lunge looks very similar to a warrior one. The difference is the foot placement. So my feet are on 2 separate tracks instead of being on that same line. And all 10 toes are pointing to the front. Usually that back heel is not going to be touching the mat, so don't worry about that. Take a breath in, send the arms up. Here's our high lunge. We're steady and stable from the hips down. We're extending and lengthening from the waist up. Take 3 more deep breaths in your high lunge. Switching to a pyramid, we're unbending our front knee, both legs are straight. Reach the arms to the side, lead with the ribs. And you can stay up high in a pyramid. You can come down to your shin, or you can come all the way down, framing that front foot with each hand. We have a little tuck in the chin to protect the neck, and we're squaring out the low back by pushing the right hip back slightly and inviting the left hip forward. Take some nice, deep, even breaths here. Good, bending the front knee, stopping it once it's over the ankle. Circle sweep the arms back up to a high lunge. Palms come together, lowering the hands down to the heart center. We're getting ready for a twist. There's 2 different options. You can stay upright and turn towards your front leg, keeping the hips squared. Or we can take this left elbow and cross it over and down. If you're choosing this form of a twist, you'll notice that your hands likely want to travel up towards your top shoulder. So try to get enough twist through your spine so that the palms are right in between the ribs, right in line with the sternum. Two more deep breaths, keeping length in that back leg. Good, picking up that elbow. Go ahead and drop your hands down and switch sides. The left foot is in the front. The right foot is in the back. Breathe in, extend the arms. We're anchoring into that back heel. Like I mentioned, not important that the heel touches the mat, but it is important that we drop it or sink into it. So we're stretching the calf. Stretching the right leg, building strength into the left leg. Flexibility in the shoulders. Getting ready to change to our pyramid. We're straightening out that front leg. Reach the arms to the side, hinge at the hip. Hands fall wherever they do today. Now the left hip draws to the back, the right hip pulls forward so that the hip bones are right next to each other. You should be able to balance a bowl of water on your low back. We're looking down towards the ankle or towards the shin so we're not crunching through the neck. 2 to 3 breaths here. Bending that front knee, come all the way back up to your high lunge. Palms come together, breathe out, inviting the hands down to the heart center, getting ready for a twist, choosing whichever option you want. The body is not symmetrical, so what works on one side might not work on the other. So feel free to change it up in any way that you'd like. Simply turn, staying upright, or take your right elbow, cross it over and down. So here's my hands coming out of alignment. You can see how my hands are right next to my shoulder. I want to use this elbow to ground and twist. So now my hands are right in between my ribs. Two more breaths. Good. Pick that elbow up, drop the hands down, step to the center of your mat. Take a deep breath in, circle sweep the arms up. Breathing out, we're swan diving down. From here, we come into a tabletop. And from a tabletop, we'll rest in child's pose, settling down for anywhere from 6 to 8 breaths. 3 more deep breaths, reconnecting in child's pose. Good. When you're ready, we're coming back up to a tabletop, tucking the toes and sending those hips up into a down dog. Take a few breaths here, and we'll come back up to work with some standing balances. Go ahead, soften those knees, walk the feet forward. Take a deep breath in, circle sweep the arms all the way up, and then exhale, dropping the arms down. Nice job. We're turning back to the long side of the mat, bringing our weight onto one side. So again, if you're mirroring me, this will be your right leg. Hands are at the hips. The left knee is bent, and we're lifting the knee and tapping the toe. Lift the knee, tap the toe. The knee stays bent the whole time. Shoulders press down, and we're tightening through the core. We've got 4 more knee lifts. Good, last one. And now we're just gonna hold that leg in midair. If you fall out of it, just tap your toe down and get right back into it. You can also extend your arms out to help with balance. Take that lifted foot, bring it to your leg so the knee and the hip turn open, and we're coming to a tree. So the arms extend up, palms face each other, pushing into the big toe, the pinky toe, and the heel of your grounded foot. Try to zip up the core and extend through the top of the head. 2 more deep breaths. Slowly stepping out of that, shift your weight onto what would be your left foot. Now that right knee is bent. Lift, tap, lift, tap. Shoulders stay relaxed. Being careful not to slouch, keep that length in the spine. Three more. Here's 2 and 1. Good. When you're ready, let that foot float in midair so the back of the leg is parallel to the ground. When you're ready, bring your foot to your leg. Turn the knee and the hip open. Breathe in, sweep the arms up. Into a tree. Tighten the belly, extend through the upper back. Two more deep breaths. Good, go ahead and plant that foot down. We're turning back to the long, or facing the top of the mat. And we're gonna be going into a balancing airplane. So we're shifting our weight to one foot. It doesn't matter which side you start with. Step your other foot to the back. Arms are down, palms are open. And we're lifting that leg. So if you were to see yourself from the side, you would look like an airplane. The back toes are pointed. Shoulders pull away from the ears. We're trying to come to the shape of a capital letter T. Good, go ahead and drop your foot down. Come all the way up. You can always turn into a wall and press your hands into the wall too. So that's another option if you want a little extra assistance. When you're ready, switch sides. Arms are down, palms are open. Good, lifting that foot. We're gazing down to the mat, finding some focal point to help with concentration. Lengthen through the neck and head, reach through the foot. 2 breaths. Good. Go ahead and drop that foot down. We're turning back to the side of the mat. We're coming down into a squat, almost like a baseball catcher. Your heels can be lifted or your heels can be down on the mat. It doesn't matter, either one. Start by just feeling your balance. Palms come together. Getting a little bit of blood flow through those legs. Take 2 deep breaths here. Now we're taking the right shoulder. We're going to drop it down, cross it in front of the leg, and send the left arm up on a diagonal. So we're looking up toward that top hand. It's really easy to start to tip and lean to one side. So try to keep your weight evenly distributed as you get this twist. Go ahead and come back to center. Another option, if this is not kind for your knees, you can come all the way down to sitting, knees bent, feet on the ground, and do a twist this way. So there's always options in yoga. We don't ever want to just push through pain, because pain is your body's way of communicating with you, and it should not be ignored. So it's okay if something is uncomfortable in a challenging way, but it should not be painful. Take your other shoulder, drop it down, cross it in front, send that right arm up on a diagonal, trying to be careful not to tip or lean. Take 2 more deep breaths. Good, back to center, a few breaths here. Getting a nice inhale and nice exhale. Nice job. When you're ready, come all the way down to sitting. We're into a butterfly stretch. Soles of the feet come together. We're starting by lifting and lengthening through the back. We're leading with the ribs, hinging forward. So be careful, again, not to do this and not to do this. The head and the neck are an extension of the spine. So we're keeping them in a nice sharp line. With every breath out, we're lowering those ribs down just a tiny bit more. Getting a good stretch and opening through the hips and the low back. Take a minute to relax, just breathing into this stretch. We're using that breath out to relax. 2 more deep breaths here. Good, coming back up to center. We're crossing the legs, but we're not overlapping them. So we've got our right leg in the front. The left leg is tucked in. We're taking our hands, again, straight back. So we're not curling and rounding. Nice straight back. Walk those hands out. Reaching towards the front. Or you can bend your elbows and bring your forearms down to the mat. You should feel a stretch through your right hip. Extend forward through the top of the head and ground through the spine. Take 3 breaths here. Nice job. Cross yourself back up. Switch your legs. So we're crossing them the opposite way. Breathe in for length. And then exhale, start to relax. Now we should feel that stretch through the left hip. One more deep breath. Good. Pressing back up to center. Go ahead and open your feet wide. Bringing those feet as far apart as you comfortably can. The arms are extending out to a T shape. We're doing a fold and a cross. So its opposite hand comes to the opposite foot. Turn so that you're looking at the hand behind your body. And then breathe in, come back up. and do the opposite, turning and twisting, looking behind the body each time, folding and twisting. Taking this at your own perfect pace. We'll do 2 more on each side. Good, last time. Nice job, back to center. Go ahead and drop those hands down. We're pointing the toes and flexing the feet. So point the toes, flex the feet, push into the heels. This helps strengthen the shins, the calves, the ankles, the arches of the feet. Lots of good stuff going on here. These are some of our biggest players in balance. So taking time just to do a simple point and flex is a good strength builder for the body. If you ever get leg cramps, this is another really good exercise to do on a regular basis. Do it for maybe 1 to 2 minutes a day. We've got 3 more. Good, last one. Nice job. Relax those feet. We're going to be moving into a pigeon, and there's 2 different options. So we'll do the regular pigeon in a minute. If you're taking care of your knees today, here's another option. Onto your back, send one leg up, flex the foot so that we're not pointing the toes, we're flexing the foot, and we're crossing the opposite ankle over. Reach down behind your leg and draw the legs in jackknife style. So here's a laying down pigeon. And again, it's just one of those options. It takes a little bit of pressure off the knees. So that's always an option. All right, so we're into a tabletop. We're tucking the toes. We're lifting to a quick down dog. We're bending our right knee and drawing it forward, crossing the leg through on a diagonal. The top of the left foot relaxes onto the mat. We sink the hips and the tailbone down. You can stay upright in your pigeon, or you can deepen that stretch by bringing the forearms down to the mat, stacking the fists on top of each other, and resting the forehead on the fist. We're staying here for 8 breath cycles. It takes a few breaths to kind of relax into this pose, so we'll stay here for a few extra breaths. Trying to let go and release tension that you're holding in the body. Four more breath cycles. Good, hands come back to the mat, tuck your back toe, lift into a quick down dog, and we're switching sides. So that left knee bends, drawing it forward. Extend through the right leg, stay upright, lifting through the ribs and the heart, or come into a forward fold, sinking the forehead down in contact with the fist. Specifically relaxing the low back and the hips. Three to four more breaths. We come out of this pose the same way we got into it. Hands come down, tuck the back toe, lift into a quick down dog, and then we drop into a tabletop. Good. We'll be turning back to face the long side of the mat. I'm going to turn this way so you can see what my feet are doing. So we're going to come all the way down to our backs, beginning in what's called a candlestick. Both legs are extended, the toes point up. Arms are out, palms are down. Toes are pointed. Open the feet as wide as you can. Flex the feet and close the feet. Point the toes, open the feet, flex the feet, close the feet. We're keeping our low back pressed into the mat. Getting some strength work for the legs and for the core. Great job. We've got 4 more sets. Last 2. And last 1. Good. Open those feet wide. Take your right leg, drop it down, and slowly close your left foot on top of the right foot. The top leg will always fall short, so rotate through the hips so the sides of the feet line up. A minute to intentionally sink down through the left shoulder, and then sweep the left leg up and over. Let the right leg slowly follow. Close the right foot on top of the left foot. Shift through the hips so the sides of the feet line up. Press the right shoulder blade down to deepen the stretch. And we'll just do that same thing, going back and forth from side to side. Each time, take that second to adjust through the hips. Try to let your legs stay up as far away from each other as you can until you finally drop that foot on top of the other. Take it nice and slow, no rush. We'll do 2 more on each side. Breathe into the ribs. Take a minute to get 3 breaths here. And then dropping our knees off to one side. Go ahead and press yourself back up. Good. Sitting tall. We're coming to a stretch for the shoulders called an eagle stretch. So take a breath in, send the arms out to the side. Bringing the hands to the front of the body. The right arm is on the bottom, the left arm is on top. Connect the elbows, pretzel the hands, and lift. We're lifting through the elbows. We can't lift very far, but it's that upward momentum, that upward motion that opens this spot in our backs between our shoulder blades. Keeping those arms intertwined, drop the elbows down toward the lap, noticing how that stretch comes up to the top of the shoulders. Take a breath in, send the arms out to the side. We're doing that same thing, bringing the opposite arm to the bottom. Pretzel those hands around, and you can leave them apart Bring the backs of your hands together, or you can sweep them around. The important thing here is the elbows. Push the elbows forward and then extend up. Feeling that great stretch in the upper back. When you're ready, lower the elbows. Go ahead and untwist, letting the hands rest on the knees. We're sitting tall, getting ready for a little bit of breathing work. Usually in a yoga class, we're breathing in and out through the nose. The purpose of that is a multi-purpose reason, but it helps bring warmth to the body and it slows the breath down, which helps activate that parasympathetic nervous system, which tells the body to relax and restore. For this breath, we'll be breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. So sit nice and tall, shoulders are down and relaxed. Draw an inhale through the nose. And we're doing a full, complete exhale through the mouth. Then again, breathing in, lengthening through the back. Breathing out, exhaling. Stay with that same breathing pattern. Allowing the body to get a full, complete inhale and a full, complete exhale. We're staying here for 4 more breath cycles. Try to notice how your muscles feel, how your body is responding to the breath. Good, 3 more times. And that last inhale. And a full, complete exhale. Keep in mind as you go through your week, as we've talked about in previous classes, our body responds to our breathing. So if you are ever feeling stressed or you're having anxiety or you're worried, take a minute to focus on specifically the exhale. It's that breath out that activates the body's restoration system. Excuse me. So it's that exhale that tells the body to slow down and relax. When we focus specifically on our exhale, tons of good things happen in the body. Our heart rate slows down, our blood pressure lowers, our circulation picks up, our digestion boosts, and our immune system gets a natural bolster. So be mindful during the week, maybe take 1 to 2 minutes each day to do some kind of breathing practice on your own, and then take a minute at the end of your breathing practice to bring that awareness to your body and notice how you feel. We're getting ready for the final relaxation. Remember, this is a part for you to do at home. Set a timer for 7 to 10 minutes. We'll be laying on our back. Arms are next to the body with the palms up, releasing any tension we're carrying through the jaw, the forehead, the eyebrows, the shoulders, the torso, the legs. We want everything to feel nice and relaxed. So when you're ready, go ahead and set your clock. 7 to 10 minutes. Roll down onto your back. Arms are next to the body. And stay here, being still, getting some nice deep breaths. Thank you.